Welcome back to the 2's review. We're doing this once again. Hey, it's the first time we've done this in a while, John, in a positive way.
I know, and you'll hear from a couple of folks in the grand scope of the show. You'll hear from Jackson Conway, who had a brace tonight for Atlanta United 2, sets the record for goals in a season for the 2's. You'll hear from Vicente Reyes, who at times was going one direction and somehow found an extra 1.5 to 2 feet of arm length to bat saves away. And you'll hear from Jack Collison too. And the best way that I can phrase it is the kids and everyone associated with Atlanta United 2, they've been having moments where they're close, they're up against the wall. Tonight they had that breakthrough moment, get a goal, have an equalizer, continue pushing, keep pushing. They got the Duke on the late goal-beating FC Tulsa.
They did, and they got a little bit of fortune too, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know, you have the ball come floating into the box where Tulsa just whiffs on it, where it's a very good chance on goal. You survive that, then you get Vicente Reyes, and that one wasn't even fortunate. It's Vicente Reyes steals a goal away from Tulsa with one of the best saves you were going to see, where his body is shifting right. And as he said, just trust your instincts. Reach back with that big left paw and just push it. And didn't have the ability not only to just touch it with that paw and didn't knock it right back to the middle, got enough to push it wide so it wasn't a threat. Fantastic work from Vicente Reyes tonight. And a fantastic performance from him in a tough situation, because we talked about during the broadcast, John, this was a game for Tulsa where they had to win. They needed to get 3 points out of this game because they needed to stay close in the playoff picture.
They did. And so what we're going to do is we're going to toss to the highlights, courtesy of our friends at the USL Championship, ESPN Plus, and YouTube.
Nicholas Firmino, and then up top you have Jackson Conway and Tristan Traeger.
Man in the middle, Alejo Kaluma. Your ARs, Noah Kenyawani and Ben Regal. And your fourth official is Alexander Zhelyashkov. Kennesaw State with their first football game in the books this couple days ago. Going long, looking for Traeger and Conway. Jackson Conway. Well done there to post up, get possession. Early chance. Rocket saved by Warmel. Being back with FC Tulsa now. Alex DeJohn defending. Machuca cuts it inside. Top of the 18. Wants to set up the left. Dario deflected and saved. And Mikey Ambrose gets it outside of the 18. Headed out by the defense of FC Tulsa. Centeno will pick it up. Step over. Works his way to the right. Gets around Dario. Chips it in far post. Headed and just over the bar and crashing into the post. Crashing into the post was Firmino. Nowhere to go. Traeger, back post, headed toward the top of the 6th and in! Jackson Conway, his 9th. It's a new bar for goals scored in the season for Atlanta United 2. 27 to go. The 2's are on the board.
Opportunities, puts it in the back of the neck. A great ball across the box. Conway's able to stop.
Take two. Into the middle. Rodrigo wants to set up that left, being held by Mikey Ambrose defensively very well. Swept in, over to John, and we're tied. Dario with the header in the 69th. And for Dario, that is his 6th on the year, and just like that, 4 minutes of a lead, honors even 1-1.
Look at it right here. Able to settle on the ball. Nice little curling ball to the back post.
Powder. Back post, Dario. Torres into the middle for Dario. Dario saved by Reyes. Big save to his right, and we stay at 1s.
Ambrose tries to get in front of you. It looks like it's going in if Reyes doesn't get a touch to it. Traeger was looking for somebody to continue that pressure, to be there to pick that ball up. This is an interesting area, though, with less than 3 minutes left plus stoppage time for Atlanta United 2.
Left through Rodrigo, saved up into the air by Reyes. Got the big paw up to keep it at 1.
Late in the game, you're going to feel like you're cramping up. Your body's really struggling, and you've got to dig down and find something.
Vial past Kibato and in by Jackson Conway. He found something.
Jacko with the brace. Vial with the pass and the vision. With a minute and a half in stoppage to go, the 2's are that close to full points.
Back from international duty, fights through the contact, plays it off to Conway, who doesn't miss. As we approach stoppage time, Atlanta United 2. We talked about you got to dig deep in these games late.
Keeping an eye on Johnny Vial. Step over central. He'll leave it for Conway just inside the 18 and missed! Traeger had it right there on his boot. Look quickly with FC Tulsa in transition. There's Conway and Traeger, and he knew it. We'll grab the shirt. Nothing happening there. It's going to go all the way through, and Vicente Reyes will hang on to it. Full time! First win for Atlanta United 2 since June the 29th. The streak is over.
So you heard some familiar voices there with the highlights, but yeah, I mean, as much as we've seen with Atlanta United 2 going up against professionals, and I mean professionals in the sense of guys that are 10, 12 years older, that this is their job. This is what they're doing in their late 20s, early 30s. We've seen this all season long, and they end up getting the result after just continuing to push and pressure, and you get it from Johnny Vial, you know? I can't say enough about him. I can't say enough about Luke Brennan, especially when they came in the game with their energy to change things around, knowing full well that Memphis 901 is coming up in midweek with some familiar faces too. But the substitutions that were made by Jack Collison really did change the energy level and change the game for Atlanta United too.
They did, and we talk about Johnny Vial because he's one of those that changed it in one of the most noticeable ways. Because Johnny came on and delivered you a spark. It was great to see. You also get a spark from Luke Brennan coming on at, early in the second half, where Luke Brennan is able to come in and be almost a quicker, more aggressive version of that right wing. Helps create the second goal, brings a lot of energy and a lot of fight. We talked to Jack Collison about what Johnny Fortune does, that it's a lot of pressing off the ball and on the ball. It's stuff that doesn't show up in the stat sheet, and Luke Brennan was doing some of that as well. Those guys that he brought in, he's challenged these kids consistently. Sometimes they've stood up to the challenge, sometimes they haven't. Tonight they went above and beyond in some cases.
So let's hear from the folks that we talked to post-match. We'll start off with the record breaker, Jackson Conway, then follow that up with Vicente Reyes, and then the head coach of Atlanta United 2, Jack Collison.
So we've watched you all year do so much hold-up work, so much really just thankless work. I mean, how does it feel to have that record and hit double-digit goals if nothing else?
Yeah, no, it's huge personally, and it's big for the team as well because we've had a tough year, and it's really important that I do it for them because they work so hard off the scene. So, yeah, no, the whole team deserved to win tonight, and I couldn't be more happy with them and happy for myself. So, yeah, on to the next Wednesday.
When we talked to you in preseason, you talked about wanting to work on your hold-up play and really rounding out your game as a whole. It feels like that's something you've really done this year, being that kind of gravitational center at times for this offense. How has that been in terms of getting comfortable with knowing that you're not always going to impact the score sheet but making the team better?
Yeah, no, because the team needs it. Especially games like that today. We go up, 2-1, and, the team needs a kind of an outlet, and that's really important, And yeah, I wanted to do that for the team because I wanted to carry out that win that we very much deserve. So, that's what they asked in center forward, and that's what I give to them. So, yeah, I've been working on it a lot, and yeah, just add 2 goals to that and good performance.
What about what this was for Johnny? Because we saw everybody dogpile you in the corner, and there was an equally large one on the bench for Johnny.
Huge Johnny. Yeah, he came on, changed the game. His energy, his work rate. Just turned the game around when, maybe we were on the back foot a little bit. He came on and changed it for us. So yeah, huge credit to him.
I was gonna ask you get the goal to make it 1-0, then they come back and score a handful of minutes later.
Yeah.
Traditionally, there are times where teams will sit there in those situations and it'll be like, oh, here it happens again. But you guys kept your focus, you stayed locked in, and you got the opportunity late.
Yeah, no, that's when you think about the training ground, the last 30 seconds of a drill where you got to go hard all the time. That's what you know, that's what transitions into the game, and it's just so important, you know, because, you know, in 2's history, there's, you know, many games that we've fallen short a couple times in the last 5 minutes of a game. And this is the youngest team I've played with that has shown the most character when it comes to seeing games out. So super proud of them. You know, it's what they deserve. Like I said, the season's not over yet, so more goals to come. But,
I mean, you keep banging on that wall all year long. It's like you're close, and then finally tonight, it's one of those breakthrough moments.
Yeah.
What's it going to be like when you go into the locker room and see the guys' faces?
No, it's just going to be incredible. I mean, I'm sure they'll be very tired, but, you know, waking up tomorrow, they'll be like, you know, we put in a good shift yesterday. So, I mean, we deserved it. You know, it's kind of a good energy and a good positive note to go into Wednesday with. And yeah, it's what we needed. We needed a big win tonight, so glad we got it.
So backline tonight was a little bit different than we've seen in the past with veteran guys. I mean, what does that change for you in terms of that communication with those?
No, I mean, always would be good to be playing with the first team guys. You know, it gives you a bit more confidence. You know, they have all the tools and experience that they have. You know, it's just always a good learning point and good experience.
And we saw, especially late in the game, when you were trying to see out the lead, it seemed like you got more aggressive in the box.
Yeah.
And is that just something that just kind of clicks with you with game state?
For sure, yeah. You know, we obviously don't get many leads in the later times in the game, so when you have that chance, you just got to, you know, it's an extra little switch of focus to, you know, finish with 3 points and obviously keep it going there.
So the one he's referencing is the big save you made right before the goal, where it looks like you're leaning to your right, you're having to go back to your left. I mean, what were you seeing in that moment?
No, right there, at that moment, I just got to trust my instincts and react to it as fast as I can, you know. Got a good hand to it, got to get into a good area, and they cleared it well. You know, always on my toes there, so always ready for those big saves.
What's it like to have this season it's always been close calls. Tonight you finally get that breakthrough.
Yeah.
What's it like to break through tonight?
No, it's really satisfying. You know, we've been training every day for these type of moments. You know, it feels amazing to come home with 3 points. You know, you just got to take it and keep moving forward and hopefully get another 3 points next game.
Okay, we saw you pick up Johnny Viall at the end there. Like, what did that mean for you and for him? I mean, him just coming in, Jackson said he changed the game as he came in and got y'all back on the front foot.
Yeah, Johnny's a kid I believe in so much. I was fortunate enough to have him with the under-17s. And he's found it difficult at times this year. It's not all plain sailing in his first year as a pro player. At times he's been in the team, at times he's been out of the team, at times he's performed below the level, at times he's been fantastic. So we've had a bit of a chat this week with Johnny, and it was one of them. I said, Johnny, I love you to bits. I believe in you so much. You've just got to try and make the most of your opportunities when you get them. And before he come on tonight, I said, you're going to win us the game. I said, when you do, make sure you come over and give a big FU to the rest of the coaching staff as well. So he did, but I'm really pleased for him, and now it's about finding that consistency, not just in games, but his training level. And he's one of them. I think we need to be patient with him, but you can see some of the stuff he does with the ball. It's just phenomenal. It's out of this world. So if we can stay patient with him, keep pushing him, and hopefully he makes the most of these opportunities and moments he gets.
You talked about bravery with this team all year this year, last year, and pushing through those moments. It seemed like at the end, guys were starting to struggle physically and mentally, just getting through those last minutes, and then they're able to push through. How big was that for you, seeing them push through that block and get a game winner?
Yeah, it's massive for them. It's massive for their development, and I can tell you that I come out here frustrated losing games, and so do these guys in there. And for them, that was a real big, probably breaking a bit of a mentality block tonight to go ahead, to go even like we did when we played them away. But to actually go on and find the winner and create a good chance at the end for Traeger as well, for Vinny to pop up at a real key moment with DaCosta rolling through there, it's really good for their confidence, and hopefully they can build on that. And I mean, the great thing is we've got another home game on Wednesday. We know Memphis are a top team, but it gives them a lot of confidence now going into that game that they can really compete.
In the last game, we saw AJ pick up his first professional assist in the game where Robbie's in the building with him, and he's carried the captain armband since Robbie's left. And you had a chat with him after the game. How's been his development in terms of like growing into that role and being more assertive with it?
Yeah, he's enjoyed it. He's embracing it. And I said to him after that, he was cramping in both calves with about 20 minutes to go. But for him as well, he has to find a way to push through this. I think that's 13 games, he just said there on the bounce. He's played 90 minutes. And for a young kid to play at that level in this league against some top players, it's great for his development. And a lot of AJ's work goes under the radar, how he's constantly getting pressure on the ball, the amount of overlaps he made tonight. He really does give everything every single week, and I think that certainly rubs off the players around him. I must say, in and around that, it was a real blessing to have Jon back there tonight. And obviously Mikey Ambrose, especially in them difficult moments. It's nice to look around and have a little bit of experience, and people have been there and see it, and just to try to give the players around them that calmness. And to be fair, they were fantastic as well.
That was the last one for me, but you bring in Noah in the second half when Tony's been just workhorse for the last 2 games. Does Noah bring some of that to that midfield when you stick him in front of the back line at times where he kind of helps calm things down a bit?
Yeah, Noah's a phenomenal player as well, and it was probably nice for him to get to play a little bit higher up for a couple of minutes. We just felt we were struggling to get out and get pressure on the ball, and obviously when it goes 1-0 up, sometimes you retreat, and we didn't want to do that. And obviously with Noah, he gives you that youthfulness, that energy, and ultimately that quality in possession. So it was good fun for him. Now as a staff, we need to try and pick a team Wednesday who can go out there and compete and give us that energy and absolutely everything once again.
I wonder how long it's going to take Vicente Reyes to Google search Stretch Armstrong.
I'm still hurting because of that moment. I don't know how to deal with it personally, and I'll deal with it later. That's going to take me a while. By the time you're listening to this, I'm still probably coping with the fact that he doesn't know what a Stretch Armstrong is.
I think we should get him one.
I'm just sad. That's all there is to it.
I think we should find one and present it to him by the end of the season.
Man, I don't feel like going on eBay to find out how much those are nowadays.
Well, I'll go on eBay. When the show's over, I'll go on eBay and we'll find out how much those things are. We'll give one to Vicente Reyes.
Either way, it's a great save from him tonight. It's a great performance from him. He had a couple really good saves. That was obviously the biggest one that was the most impactful, but he also had a couple of really good saves that he's able to just keep control of the ball in a tight situation where, it's a low hard shot where he's able to get down and keep it under him. He doesn't allow that soft rebound. And it's such a simple thing, it sounds like, but those rebounds can be deadly, and he was just so sound with it.
Looking at the second goal as we kind of break the fourth wall here a little bit, they're preparing the reel for the league and for those of you who watch on YouTube. Luke Brennan cuts inside, and then Johnny Vial gets past Kimbo Kibato, kind of leaves him around, and a great touch to Jackson Conway through the legs of Warmel for the winner.
Hey, you go 5-hole sometimes. You get in there, you get in the shootout, you start closing in on Dominic Hasek, and sometimes you just go 5-hole when they get in the butterfly.
Yep, and that's what happened against Austin Warmel tonight. So Atlanta United 2.
It's not to take away from Warmel, sorry.
No, I mean
he's very good tonight.
Yeah, his save percentage coming in 792, averaging 4.1 saves a match, and we got to see that full bore about why Austin Warmel is one of the top keepers in the Eastern Conference. But this loss tonight for FC Tulsa and for interim head coach Donovan Ricketts really, really puts them against the sword when it comes to trying to get that 7th spot away from Detroit City.
Yeah, they got Detroit City in 2 or 3 games from now, but the playoff picture might look very different by the time they get there. And Detroit City will be able to potentially take a very deep and calming breath, because I don't know if Tulsa's going to be able to catch them at this point.
So that's your story. We're going to go and recover because we got to come back here from Memphis 901 in the midweek with some familiar faces.
Yes, we do. Oh, man, and it's going to be an interesting one. It's always a fun conversation because when we talk about the guys who play for Memphis, guys like Philip Goodrum, Laurent Kisiadou, Moshe Dama's up there as well, I believe, still. They're guys who, came through this system, and they didn't necessarily stick in MLS yet. We don't know what their story has in the future. But they're guys who came through Atlanta United and are doing this for a living, and you don't always have to just create guys playing for your first team. to have a successful academy. You're creating guys who get to do this for a living. You can't put every single kid from the academy into your first team, and if you judge it just by this guy's a staple for our first team, I don't know that you'll ever really be satisfied with the output of your academy. You want guys to stick there, of course, but it's great to be able to develop guys to be professionals at any level, really, and it's great to see them succeeding in Memphis. We hope they stop succeeding for 90 minutes Wednesday. That's really all we ask.
That's really all we ask. So 2-1 final tonight. Great win for Atlanta United 2. Full points against FC Tulsa. Jackson Conway with the brace sets the record and will continue to set the record for goals in a season for a player for the Five Stripes for Atlanta United 2 here in the USL Championship. So we'll be back here in the midweek as Memphis 901 comes to town. Jarrett, send us home.
Mucha plata, everyone.